Hello there, good morning and welcome to today's newspaper review coming to you from the Advent Cable Network Nigeria Television, ACNNTV. In the dailies today, there are lots of reports from the Lagos explosion that rendered hundreds homeless. Also, the APC crisis story is not left out. Come along with me as we look at the Monday's national newspaper front pages. I am Phoebe Agimenhue. I'll start with the Vanguard newspaper, and the leading story is on the APC crisis. Tinubu pro-Shomole stalwarts join forces, and the kickers pro-Shomole forces say his removal will spell doom for APC. Plotters attacking Oshomole afflicted with 2023 virus. That is coming from Tinubu. See page A2 for the details. And then you have the big picture tagged Explosion Rocks Lagos. That is the scene of the Abule Ado explosion in Lagos yesterday. See more pictures on page 30. And the other picture is that of a schoolgirl on a stretcher being taken out of the explosion area. Abule Ado Festa Town, Amuwo, Odofin local government area of Lagos State yesterday. Let's the picture on page 13. Northern governors, ACF, partner on insecurity, poverty, Almajiri. And on page 9, Borno, Boko Haram terrorists ambush soldiers, kill 5, lose 3. And the bottom strip story is on page 31. I will ask questions with stones. Odia Ofemu at 70. The story above the masthead now. School children among 15 killed in Lagos explosion. Page 5. And on COVID-19, Enugu government announces suspected first case as Ghana, South Africa commence mandatory 14-day quarantine for incoming travelers. Pages 8 and 45. And lastly, from the Vanguard newspaper on page 14, Vanguard Economic Discourse. Dr. Teriba, now keynote speaker. That is all from the Vanguard newspaper. Up next is the Nigerian Tribune. And I will start with the stories just below the masthead. Tinubu backs Oshomole, says party infected with 2023 virus. Cloud over APC NEC meeting, page 4. And on pages 6 and 7, coronavirus. Kenya, Senegal, Rwanda, Ghana issue travel ban, close schools. Suspected case in Enugu. Government releases 20 million naira for emergency response. Vatican to hold Easter celebrations without congregation. And the leading story, Lagos explosion kills 15, destroys 50 houses. The kickers now, blast triggered by gas explosion, NNPC, how trapped. Boarding school girls were rescued. Many hospitalized. Principal who rescued her students killed. Family of 6 killed. Pages 2 and 3. And then you have more photos on pages 2 and 3 of the Lagos explosion. On page 33, which happens to be the last story from the Nigerian Tribune, Fayemi visits Alafin over Ekiti Obaship crisis. Ekiti State Governor with the Alafin of Oyo when the governor met the monarch in Ibadan, Oyo State capital, on Sunday. Let's move on to the leadership newspaper. Again, I'll start with the story just below the masthead. Industrialization. I'm inspired by leadership award to do more. That is coming from Ayade. As conference and award ceremony holds on Thursday. Page 6. Nigeria's e-commerce to hit 15 trillion naira in 10 years. Experts. Page 26. The leading story is on coronavirus. Ghana, Rwanda, South Africa roll out drastic measures. Shut down schools, worship centers, issue travel restrictions, postpone weddings, sporting events. Ghana's infection cases hit 6. Nigerian Italian dies in Canada. Italy loses 368 people within 24 hours. Page 4. And the picture from left to right, Kebbi State Governor, his Yobo State counterparts, Attorney General of the Federation, and Minister of Justice, his transportation counterparts, and Kogi State Governor during a condolence visit to Bello over his mother's death in Abuja yesterday. Beside the picture ahead, NEC meeting. President Muhammadu Buhari meets APC governors today. 2023 ambition behind party crisis, says Tinubu. The story begins on the front page and continues on page 4. Alright, the bottom strip stories now, page 2. President Muhammadu Buhari consoles families as 15 die in Lagos explosion. Alright, NAV bombs terrorist facilities as troops kill 7. Page 13. APC wins Jigawa, Niger, NAS by elections. Page 14. And finally on page 32, Nigerian Mutual Fund posts 382 billion naira gain. That is all from the Leadership newspaper. Let's look at the New Telegraph newspaper and the leading story. 2 Reverend Sisters, 5 students, 9 others die in Lagos explosion. May their gentle souls rest in perfect peace. Amen. 50 houses, vehicles damaged. 60 boarding students injured. Churches, hotels, schools, residents count losses. NNPC shuts down System 2B pipeline. Hot fuel supply to depots. NEMA, Lagos Fire Service Bika. Buhari, explosion a national tragedy. Indeed. Pages 8 and 9. There you have more pictures from the Lagos gas explosion. The bottom strip story now, APC crisis. Uncertainty looms ahead of NEC meeting. Tinubu backs Oshomole warns 2023 campaigners. Page 2. Erratic sleep habits could raise heart attack, stroke risk. Page 31. And the story is above the leading story now. Nigeria's import duty exemption to Shell hits 24 billion naira in 3 years. Page 5. Policeman, civilian killed in border drill operatives residents clash. That's on page 10. Anambra South. Apiko decides Uba's fate this week. Page 4. And on page 31, senators, we won't pass bill banning importation and sale of generators. And the story above the masthead now, Tier 1 banks garner 19.14 trillion naira customer deposits. And custom bans movement of cargoes, containers by barges. Page 7. That is all from the New Telegraph newspaper. Up next is the Blueprint newspaper. And I'll start with the story just beside the masthead on page 33. Zenith and First Banks in major talks. COVID-19. Investors lose 1.8 trillion naira in 1 week. Page 35. Those plotting Oshomole sack infected by 2023 virus. That is coming from Tinubu. Says NEC meeting callers distracting Buhari. The story begins on the front page and continues on page 6. On page 33, federal government received 2.93 trillion naira Federal Account Allocation Committee FAAC allocation in 2019. The leading stories still on Lagos explosion. At least 15 killed, 50 houses, other property wrecked. Worship centers, schools affected. Inferno triggered by gas blast, NNPC. It's a national tragedy. Buhari. Page 6. You have two pictures on the Blueprint newspaper to my left. From left, Nasarawa State Governor, Katsina State Governor, Chief of Staff, Chairman Dangote Group, during the wedding of the son of the Inspector General of Police in Abuja on Saturday. And to my right, some of the buildings affected by the Abule-Ado pipeline explosion in Lagos yesterday. The bottom strip stories now. Insurgency. 1,000 Yobe pupils, students return to school. Page 14. Easter pilgrimage. NCPC mall suspension over COVID-19. Page 16. Southeast will get own security outfit in April. That's coming from Umahi. Page 14. Rescuers from headers, Middle Belt begs Buhari. Page 8. And finally, on page 5, coronavirus. Stop patronizing imported fairly used textiles. NEMA advises Nigerians. This day newspaper is next. The leading story now. Buhari expresses sadness as explosion kills 15 in Lagos. Over 50 vehicles, buildings destroyed. NNPC blames blast on accident at gas facility. Government orders investigation into incident. The story begins on the front page and continues on page 6. That's the picture of the blast, tagged another avoidable carnage. Sympathizers watch as fire from an explosion ravages lives and property at Abule-Ado, Lagos yesterday. Alright, the story just beside that states renege on agreement to reduce right-of-way charges for telcos. Page 8. And the story just below the masthead now. President gives Oshomole a lifeline. Meets APC governors today. Suspends attendance at tomorrow's NEC meeting. Tinubu backs national chairman. The story begins on the front page and continues on page 6. Alright, just before we go for the break, let's have the story above the masthead. Man countries tighten control as coronavirus kills 6,000. The story begins on the front page and continues on page 47. And lastly, AP Mola removes MD over Apapa Port congestion gridlock. Page 5. Right about now, viewers, we'll pause here to go for a short break. When we return, business and sports update is next. Please stay tuned. And so there, thanks for staying tuned. Let's look at what the business and sports stories have for us. But I'll start with the business story, which says early calm returns to Nigeria's forex market as CBN doubles down on Naira peg. The story begins on the front page and continues on page 6. Alright, still the picture of the scene of the gas explosion at Abuja, Lagos yesterday. Beside the leading story, explosion renders hundreds homeless in Lagos. Several feared dead as over 100 houses destroyed, and NNPC says fire triggered by gas explosion. The inside story now, it's on page 2, 4 policy shifts that can leave Nigeria's economy in era of low prices. And lastly, from the business day, it's on insecurity, how son of ex-DMODG, Igbere TV boss, were murdered in Abuja. Page 45. And now to sports. The Vanguard Sport is on pages 46 and 47. I'd like to say, please come along with me. Gary becomes first La Liga player to test positive, for COVID-19. Ronaldinho scores 5 goals, 6 assists in prison football tournament. Athletes who have tested positive for COVID-19, get the Vanguard Sports and check out the names for yourself. Ronaldo turns his hotels into hospitals for treating coronavirus patients. Real Madrid make contact with Mane. Page 47 now. Igalo to take £6 million pay cut for permanent Manchester United stay. First sports competition. Shanghai and Shenhua eyes £1.4 million profit if Igalo is sold. League One short on targets. Osimhen, Neymar joint 4th. Mikel gets wish not to play as Trabzonspor draw in Super League. Edo 2020. Samuel Ogbemudia tracks world class athletes confess. And finally, National Sports Festival. Edo is ready, says Sports Minister after inspection of facilities. And that is all from the Vanguard Sports. Without sport headlines, I leave you with a reassurance from the Lord that in this new week, His great army is dispatched to defend you against the aggression of the enemy for Christ's sake. Amen. Have a blessed day and a fruitful week ahead. God bless.